Hi guys, it's Belle here and I'm coming on with, if you've read the title, what is a viewer's request. A few months ago I showed you how I make my fabric snippets with the buttons on, and in that video I talked about the loop method that I use to secure my thread. So a viewer requested that I go through that again, so this video is going to be doing that. So take your piece of embroidery thread, embroidery floss. I have plenty of this. This is just a scrap because I cross stitch. However much you think you need to sew your button on, double it, because we are going to double it. I'm just going to take one strand. You can do more. So there we go, there's the one strand. And then I'm literally going to double it over, making the two loose ends meet. So there we go, we have two loose ends on one end, and then you'll notice on the other end you have your loop. So again, just take your embroidery floss, double it over so that the two ends meet, then you've got your loop. Put the two loose ends through the eye of your needle. It's always fun trying to do this on camera. Let's see. Oh, I did it. So now your needle will have gone through the two loose ends, you see, and you'll still have a loop on that side. So now you're going to grab your button. You're going to go into your fabric from behind through the first hole of your button, leaving about a good 2 inches on the other side where the loop is. So the loop of the fabric is on the back of the fabric. Go back through, so your front will look like that. You'll have your thread booth through both holes of the button, and then on the back you will have a side with the loop and the two loose sides with your needle. You're literally just going to stick your needle through that loop like that and pull tight. Then hold it. So hold the end. Mine's come out now of my eye of my needle. Of course it is. Because it just wants to challenge me today. You're going to hold the side, so the loop is there and my needle's gone through. I'm going to hold that side as I go back through the button, then let go. And now look guys, can you see? No bulk from the idea of putting little knots, and just go through. Now I find this quite easy, so I'm sorry if I'm doing this quickly because I'm used to cross stitching where you stitch from behind the fabric. So there we go. So there's no little knot. Now you need to make a little knot because you're going to, obviously I put it underneath and I'll have another loop and I will go through that loop and tighten, go underneath again, got another little loop, go through that loop, pull tight, and then one tiny knot to secure it all. But you might not need to. Snip it as close as possible. And look at the back of that, guys. There's barely any bulk at all because I've just done one tiny knot. So let's do that again. This time I'm going to do it with a button with 4 holes, and I'm going to do it using 2 skeins, 2 threads, just to show you can do it with the exact same thing. So again, make sure you've got more than double of what you need. Take your this end 4, but your loose ends of your thread. So you're going to take your long piece of thread, you're going to double it in the middle by getting your loose ends together. This may be a challenge. I may need a bigger needle for this one, just because I need to get it through the eye on camera. You're going to get that through the eye of your needle. So there's your loose ends. Let's just open that up so you can see. Here's your loose ends. Here's your needle. and then here you will have a loop again. So once again, you're going to go in from behind, leaving, you know, however much. I like to leave about this much, and there's my loop. And this time I'm going to go diagonally because, you know, it's a 4-hold button. Pull through. So again, there's our loose ends with the needle. There's our loop. I'm going to put my needle through that loop and pull. Look guys, look how flat that is. No tiny knots. Then I'm going to put my finger on that and go through. So I've gone through here. I'm now going to go through this bottom one. Do you see? I went through, across, through the hole and through the bottom one. I'm going through the next bottom one. Pull through tightly, back through. There we go. And then I'm just going to go back through, stitch your button on as you would normally. There's no like, it's just button stitching. It's just normal stitching your button on, guys. Yeah, but obviously the loop method just means you don't have a big lot of bulky knots. So I'm going to leave it like that so you can see the difference. So that's with 1 skeiner thread. This is 2. Still nice and flat on the back. And again, I'm going to put my needle through a couple of these threads this time. There's probably better explanations out there. It's really hard explaining something that you've kind of done for years and sort of it's become second nature. So having to stop and think about it can be difficult. So it's gone through. I'm going to go back through those 2, come up. So we've got a large loop here. You can see I'm putting the needle on top of it. And then I'm going to push my needle underneath it like so. And that's already tightened that, guys, without like giant knots. So again, needle back through, then put the needle underneath through the loop, tighten. And then I like to just add a tiny knot just to secure that. To be honest, if you're gluing it to the page, you probably don't even have to do that. Now, obviously, because we've used more thread, it's a bit bulkier on the back of this one than it is on the back of this one because of the amount of thread. And I didn't quite pull that tightly enough. But there we go. I hope that helps. I hope, you know, the person who requested this video, that really helps. I've tried to do it. I've tried to do it as easily as I could and explain it. So yeah, let me know down below if that helped. And that's it for now, guys. So thank you so much for watching. And I hope wherever you are in the world, you're having lots of crafty fun. Bye for now, guys.